But when I look back on my childhood, in some ways I can see where Daenerys Targaryen's history came from. Because we were, my mother, her maiden name was Brady. And the Bradys had been a very successful family in Bayonne. They had come over from Ireland during the potato famine, and they'd settled in Bayonne. There was like a Brady's Tavern that was very successful for a while. I had a cousin who looked all this stuff up and did this amazing history of the Brady's family, all that. And my great-grandfather, James Brady, had a very successful construction materials business, James Brady and Sons. And my grandfather, Thomas Brady, my mother's father, was part of that. He was one of the sons. The business was so successful that he built his own dock on First Street, Brady's Dock, which was where the ships would come and deliver the material. And he lived in a house between 3rd Street and 4th Street on Lord Avenue that my mother was born in. She was the youngest of 11 children, so she was part of this great Brady dynasty. All this, of course, was long before I was died. My grandfather Thomas died. I never knew any of them. The family lost all its money. The family lost the house. The family lost Brady's Dock, which was taken over by the city, became City Dock. And so I'm growing up in the projects on First Street, across the street from Brady's Dock. And every day when I walked to Mary Jane Donahue up Lord Avenue, an interesting name, I would pass the house that my mother was born in, which, of course, I'd never been inside. It wasn't our house anymore. Other people lived in that house. So from my mother's stories, I always had this kind of sense that I was like disinherited royalty. You know, here was this dock that my great-grandfather built, wasn't ours anymore. Here was this house that my mother had been born in. We didn't own this house anymore. We didn't own any house. We had an apartment, you know? So it was like, oh, I came from greatness, like Danny. And I will take back what is mine with fire and blood. So